Hello YouTube, this is Michael and I'm coming to you with the results video for September 2020 Giveaway Club question. And I'm ashamed to say that nobody won the prize, again. So, if you haven't already, go and check out yesterday's question video for October. And, making it really easy this time. First person who has not won a regular monthly prize, who merely comments on my video, whether it's the right answer or not, wins. Bonus kudos if you answer the question correctly, but hey. Okay. That said, let's get to this question. This was a brainy question, I'll admit, so it might have required too much brain power, but I still like it. So here's the question. How many different unique moves can a single pawn make to checkmate the enemy king in chess? And I gave you the information that a capture to the left and a capture to the right was only one unique move, not two. Okay? And as you can see, if you know anything about chess, the pawn's a peculiar little piece. Most of the time, it only moves one square. There is one exception, and that is its very first move, where it can move two squares from the starting point instead of one. It also moves differently to capture an opposing piece than any other piece will do. Okay? All that plays into this answer. Somebody pointed out to me that there is a difference between a direct checkmate and what's called a discovered checkmate. A discovered checkmate is when a piece moves and it unblocks another piece to attack. Okay? A checkmate is a checkmate, folks. It doesn't matter if it's a direct checkmate or a discovered checkmate. It's still a checkmate. Okay? So, this is going to be one of my longer results videos, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video now, go set up my board, and I'm going to take you through each of the ways that a pawn can checkmate the enemy king. So, be right back. Alright, I'm back. So here's the setup for the first move. And what we're going to do is we're going to move this pawn here, which has never moved throughout the entire game. We're going to move it forward 2 spaces to checkmate the enemy king here. There we go. The enemy king is now checkmated. Why? The queen prevents the king from moving to this space, or this space. The bishop prevents the king from moving to this space or this space. The queen prevents the king from moving to this space. Its own pawn is sitting on this space to prevent a move, and it can't capture the attacking pawn. Whoops. Bloopers on live video, folks. One moment. Alright, got the king repositioned after my blunder. Anyway, this pawn is backed up by this pawn. So, and then this pawn, of course, is attacking the king. So that's method number 1. I'll reset the board for number 2, and we'll come back. Alright, this is an example of that discovered check I was talking about a moment ago. This is move number 2. The lone white pawn on the board is going to move 1 space forward, and that will force checkmate. Because we have a bishop here and the king, white king here. We're going to move the white pawn 1 space forward like so. And that now puts the black king in checkmate. The black king cannot move to this space here because of the pawn. The black king cannot move to this space here because of the white king. The black king cannot move to this space both because of the bishop and the white king, and the white bishop is attacking the black king on the space it's on. So that's method number 2. We're going to reload for method number 3 here in a moment. One of the unique powers granted to the pawn is if it makes it from its starting row all the way to the other end of the board, it can promote to any other piece, including a queen. The only piece that the pawn cannot promote to, obviously, is another king. But it can promote to a rook, a knight, a bishop, or a queen. Most players choose to promote to a queen because the queen is the most powerful piece on the board. So, this is what we've got going on. The white pawn is about to promote. So, the white pawn will move forward. It's one space, like so, and in return, it is going to be promoted to a queen. I'm leaving the pawn here to let you know that the pawn moved to that space, but it has now chosen to promote to a queen. The game is over. The black king is in checkmate. Why? The queen attacks the space that the black king is on, and also prevents the black king from moving here or here, and the white king prevents it from moving here, and the game is over. So that was the third method. Now we're going to deal with the two unique methods of capturing that a pawn can do. So if you can do, if you can figure it out, that basically will tell you the correct answer is 5. So I've shown you 2 straightforward moves, a promotion move, and now we're going to pause the video and show you the first of the 2 capturing moves. One moment, please. Alright, so this is a little more convoluted setup. Okay. You have to know a little bit about how each piece moves in chess, but the upshot is a pawn does its regular move forward like this. Okay. It either moves 2 spaces forward or it moves 1 space forward. Okay. But when it goes to capture, it moves forward diagonally. And that's how this checkmate is going to work. The white pawn is going to capture the black pawn, and, well, the game will be over when I do that. So let's make the move now. Okay, and when I capture the piece, the black piece is removed from the board and now sits off to the side. Okay, the game is over. The queen sitting here precludes the king from moving here, here, or here. The bishop prevents the king from moving here and here. This knight protects the pawn, but it also stops the king from moving here. This knight blocks this square. Let me try that again. This knight blocks this square. And finally, the pawn here does in the king. Alright, there is one other peculiar move that a pawn can do. And it's the most complicated move. I've saved it for last for that reason. One moment while I reset the board. Okay, so one other very peculiar power that the pawn has is the ability to capture en passant, French for in passing. What that means is this. It is true that a pawn can move 2 spaces forward on its very first move. But doing so doesn't necessarily mean it's free from capture. See, if this pawn here were to move 1 space forward, it would be captured by the white pawn. So, you would think, okay, I could just move 2 spaces and avoid that. But the rules of chess say not so fast. The black pawn will move 2 spaces forward, but the white pawn will move diagonally en passant to make the capture. In doing so, the black pawn is removed from the board, and believe it or not, that's checkmate. Why? Because in doing the en passant capture, it unblocked the queen, which now attacks the king. The rook blocks these three spaces. The bishop blocks this space. Oops, sorry guys, I keep moving the camera without meaning to. The bishop blocks this space, and the knight blocks this space, leaving the king nowhere to go, and the game is over. So the correct answer to the question at the beginning was 5. There's 5 different ways that the enemy king can be captured, can be checkmated by a single pawn in the game of chess. Hope you guys enjoyed the results video. I promise none of the rest of them are going to be that lengthy. Okay? Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.